we're back
I hit record and we're back.
and we're mixing it up.
How are we mixing it up?
Well, we're not focusing on a movie. We're doing like a ton of movies. Well, not a ton, like a tenth of a ton,
We're doing 10 movies.
maybe 10. Technically, it's supposed to be 10, but I think there's going to be overlap.
There
Maybe
is,
a
but
couple of lines of overlap.
I guess we should first explain that the impetus for this episode came from what is probably our most anticipated movie of the year. I feel like both of us are on the same
Absolutely.
page about this.
We are.
We're both very much looking forward to The Long Walk, which is a Stephen King adaptation, one that I've wanted to see adapted for years. Such an
Same.
underrated story.
It is. It's really a really graphic and gory book. So I'm looking forward to see how they adapt it. Very dark.
Early reviews have said that it is quite gory, so
Oh,
I'm
that's
super
good.
pumped to see The Long Walk, and also, personally, I love David Johnson, so I'm gonna be sat first day for pretty much anything that he's in at this point.
Yeah. And you love Andy.
I do love Andy. I feel like he's the first synthetic to really make you feel deeply.
Yeah, the first sympathetic one. The others are kind of cold and clinical compared to the way he's portrayed.
Well, you feel for Bishop a little bit in Aliens when Ripley is kind of being very dismissive towards him. David Johnson, like the depth that he brought to the character that's ultimately a synthetic is just mind-blowing to me. I just want to reach for the screen and give him a big hug.
You'll probably want to hug him a lot after the long walk and what I expect his character's going to get put through. It's a lot if you've read the book. It's a lot. Yeah, as you're listening to this, I think it's 3 days away, right? The release is coming out on the Friday, right? The long walk.
September 12th.
Yeah, I mean we're obviously not recording it live.
I will be there day 1. By Inspired by the release of The Long Walk, we are counting down, each of us, our 4 favorite Stephen King adaptation, and then we've each selected an extra one that we both consider to be kind of a hot take. Also a favorite, but maybe one that's not quite so universally loved.
Yeah, and we do know each other's top four going into this, but we don't know the hot take choice, so we could
No,
tussle.
we've
This
we've
could be
kept that.
the end of the podcast. We could have a really big falling out.
Kiss my ass. It's
Hell
a
yeah,
movie, get
that's the
over
right
it.
attitude. Oh no, you can't disagree with me about movies. Cancelled. Blocked. Reported. Framed for several crimes. You are cooked, woman.
All right. Well,
Do you want to start? You have to go first.
this was a hard list to make. I'm a
Well, there's
huge
so many
Stephen
choices.
Well, we're both huge Stephen King fans, and, like, I wanna put maybe 10 different movies in my top spot. So this is very difficult for me, and ultimately, when I saw your list, because we did share our top 4 with each other, when I saw your list, I realized that my stupid Swiss cheese brain had forgotten my number 4 pick,
Okay.
which is Misery. How do you not love Misery?
Yeah, it's such a great one. And Kathy Bates, great performance. James Caan, great performance.
Great performances all around. And I think what Stephen King does best are stories that revolve around characters that are isolated. It's just such a good movie. I love unhinged Kathy Bates. Annie Wilkes is probably one of the best written characters ever. Uh,
Yeah.
just batshit fucking crazy. James Caan
Yeah.
as Paul Sheldon, who goes from the beginning of the movie to being very helpless to very slowly kind of plotting against her and fighting back until we get this battle at the end, which is so epic.
Typewriter Smash.
The typewriter smash is iconic. And there's this build up to it because she's kind of force feeding him pills and he starts stashing them. And we get this scene where he agrees to sit down to dinner with her. And you really think that this is going to be the end because he takes all of his pills and dumps them into her wine. And you really think that's going to be the end of her until she spills the wine accidentally on purpose.
You
And the
think there was purpose
collective,
to that? I always assumed it was just accidental.
no,
But
I think it was on purpose.
you see her as truly nefarious.
The groan that I let out when that glass got tipped over, it's just like, "No."
Yeah, you feel the frustration.
Well, yeah, he was seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and she just
Yeah.
completely crushed that. I was like, "No, you're never getting out of here." And there's probably a few points in the movie where you feel like he's not getting out. The other one is when the sheriff gets shot. He enters Annie's house and hears Paul screaming, and Annie just ends him with a shotgun.
Yeah, the sheriff, I like the character. His situational awareness is a bit poor at that stage.
I like his character and I like his wife's character.
Yeah,
Bring little bit of comedy to the movie, a
it's a little bit of levity, I guess.
little bit
But yeah,
before he
I
dies.
do like the whole power struggle between Paul and Annie throughout the movie. It sort of shifts and changes throughout. As much as she's trying to keep him trapped, she's also inadvertently, I guess, making him strong enough to eventually put up a fight despite her best efforts and maybe get out.
You
There's
just
always
described
this
it
great
perfectly.
balancing act.
Yeah, you describe it perfectly as a power struggle. 'Cause it really does go back and forth to the point where if you're watching it for the first time, you have no idea how it's gonna end.
How do you feel about the scene with the sledgehammer? Because in the book, she takes an axe to his feet, doesn't she? But they changed that for the movie, made it a sledgehammer. I know Kathy Bates. I saw an interview with her where she said she personally wanted to see the axe scene done, but they changed it. Like, how do you feel about that?
Maybe Kathy Bates is just as unhinged in real life as she is on film. I love that. I love his books. I really don't know where I stand. I think what they did in the movie is very effective because I have to look away every single time, and I've seen the movie hundreds of times, and every time she, picks up that.
It's wince inducing.
Yeah, yeah, she puts that log between his ankles. I know it's coming, and I can, like, feel my skin starting to crawl. It's very wince-inducing, and I feel like had she cut them off, it would still be wince-inducing.
It's a different vibe, I guess.
I love horror movies, so loving blood is kind of inherent, but some scenes are just more effective without it, and this is one of them. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
say the sledgehammer is better.
Yeah, I agree with you on this occasion. I think it fits the vibe of the movie as well. It's not really a gore intensive movie or even a violence intensive movie. It's more psychological. It's more, I guess, blunt in a way. So the sledgehammer really suits the vibe, and
The
I think
sledgehammer
it works.
works.
With
Plus
apologies to Kathy Bates, you're wrong, Kathy.
no, you know what? I agree, and I also think the ending. I don't wanna see him trying to walk around on his little bloody stumps.
That's your number four, misery.
Probably would have been too real for you as well.
Damn. Well, maybe not so much when I watched it before, but maybe now if I did a rewatch. I think I rewatched it last year though, or maybe this year. It is a rewatchable one. I feel like it's one of the Stephen King movies that I get more enjoyment out of with each rewatch. It just holds up so well.
So many of his movies have this in like amazing rewatch capacity. I think it's one of the better adaptations. If you have not seen Misery, you should
It's on my list too.
listen to the
Love.
rest of the episode and then go and
Yeah,
watch it.
we need you. Please don't leave us. We have abandonment issues.
Misery clocking in at number 4. So,
Okay, it's my turn. Time for me to cook. Mine's a movie I actually rewatched yesterday just to make
oh,
sure that it deserved its spot, and it does. It's The Dead Zone from 1983. Not the TV series, which I never watched, but the movie with Christopher Walken. It's a guy who gets in a car crash, wakes up, I think 5 years later, with, I guess you'd call them psychic powers. Like he touches people's hands. In the book, I think he can touch clothing as well and stuff. But it's been a long time since I've read the book. But in the movie, he touches someone, he can see something from their past, their future. And that basically ties into him ultimately bringing down this corrupt politician that's going to start a nuclear war or something.
we might have our rumble before we get to the hot take because I disagree, but
You
no,
disagree? Do you not like the Dead Zone?
I do, but I don't think it would be a part of my top 4 or top 5 conversation. But Christopher Walken is amazing in that movie.
I think it's one of his best performances. I know people treat his acting style like a bit of a meme, but he is capable of giving great performances in the way that he acts. And this is one of them. He's really suited to the role. I forget the character's name actually now, considering I
Just
watched it
watched it
yesterday.
yesterday.
I know, right? I'm terrible with characters' names. I just watch the movies. I see the actors, you know what I mean? I see Christopher Walken as the psychic.
No,
It still holds up. I think it's a great movie. It's not, I wouldn't say it's perfect. Like, I sort of enjoyed the kind of pre-Silence of the Lambs vibes it has at certain points, and I wish that they'd done more with the serial killer aspect of the storyline, because he's solicited by the police to help with this serial killer case that they've got, and they've got no leads on, and he eventually decides that he will help, and he solves it really, really quick. I wouldn't have minded if that had been like the main storyline of the whole movie, and not necessarily this whole political thing.
I think that's my main issue with this movie. It feels, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but it just feels so different from everything else that he's done. And I think that's owing to the political aspect.
Yeah, it is. It is in a sense, I guess, one of the outliers. Something
It
like
doesn't feel like horror to me.
no, I think as much as people like to claim that really good horror movies are somehow not horror movies, that they like to call them supernatural thrillers. I think this might be one of the occasions where it's actually an apt description of the movie. It's not so much a full horror movie as it is a thriller with horror elements in there, which I enjoy, of course. But yeah, like I say, I don't think it's a perfect movie, but I think it's pretty great. And Martin Sheen has a great role as this corrupt politician.
Wait a minute. You don't think it's a perfect movie? So I have to ask, what have you rated it on Letterboxd?
4.5 stars.
Okay.
So
So then my next question is, do you have 4 Stephen King movies that are rated 5 stars?
I do not.
Wow.
Is that bad?
My
I,
god.
I have a lot of Stephen King movies that are rated 4.5 stars, but 5 stars is actually just my top two.
I feel like in doing an episode like this, like, I feel like we're both spoiled for choice, so I'm very surprised to hear that, but I'm also not surprised to hear it at the same
Yeah,
time.
I'm just picky. Like I say, I think if the the serial killer aspect had been the main focal point, it had potential to go to 5 stars. I love the scene where the guy that's responsible for the killings decides to off himself using, is it a pair of scissors or shears? He just leans into it, and you get this really good shot a minute later of him just slumped and covered in blood. There's another scene in the book as well that I wish had been in there where I think he touches someone's item of clothing and he has a vision of them drowning in quicksand. That was a horror element that I would have liked to have seen integrated into the movie a little bit, but it isn't.
This happens with every adaptation. There are parts of the book that are gonna be left out. In most
It's,
cases, you'd probably end up with a movie that's 5 hours long if you kept everything that was in a book.
yeah, especially with Stephen King. I mean, we can judge whether it has any value at the end of the day, but I think it should be an option for directors and screenwriters to put what they want in their movies. I don't know how he feels about The Dead Zone, though. It's another one where I've not really heard much from Stephen King on this one, but I think it's a great movie. As readers, like we've sort of touched on, we have parts of stories that we memorize really well. Like for me in this story, it's the person drowning in the quicksand, and there's a bunch of stuff in it that I would have liked to have seen at least in the TV adaptation. So I imagine it's even stronger, the sense of frustration, if you're the actual author of the work, seeing it turned into something that's probably most of the time very different to what you had envisioned when you wrote it. The ending of it, chapter two, I'm sure he's not happy with that. I know I wasn't.
I left it off my list. It is one of my favorite books and one of my favorite adaptations, and I'm talking about the 1990 version. I didn't think that we needed a reimagining of this movie. The only thing that I love about that movie is how gory Georgie's death scene was.
Yeah, he actually loses his arm in that one.
So, Dead Zone is your number 4 against Misery, my number 4. I feel like my number 4 is better than your number 4.
No, it's not just you, but we'll get to that.
No, I know it's not just me.
It's close though. What's your number three?
Pet Cemetery.
2019. Okay, I assume it's the original.
Didn't fucking need it. Don't fucking want it. Didn't ask for it.
The original is definitely superior, no question. By a lot. One truck versus one child. Who will win?
Miko Hughes was in Kindergarten Cop when Arnold Schwarzenegger is asking the kids what their dads do. And he says, my dad is a gynecologist and he looks at vaginas all day long. He's the cutest kid I've ever seen in my life.
Fred Gwynn, how about him?
I love Fred Gwynn. He was perfect as Judd. Every single time I
He's
watch
iconic.
Gage kill him, I just cry a little. I'm so sad because all
Sweet
he
old
was
man.
well, yeah, all he was trying to do was help Lewis when his daughter lost her cat,
I mean, he's
which
kind of to blame
in
for a
hindsight,
lot of what happens. He shouldn't have
well,
done that, especially with his own story about his dog.
I agree, but Lewis also has no fucking self-control. Because why are we burying a human in that cemetery? Maybe had you kept a closer eye on your kid.
What's the one that notices? Those two parents aren't paying attention. That your boy over there under that truck?
They live on this highway that's dangerous. Judd tells Lewis about it the first day that they move in because he sees that they have pets or a pet. Why don't you build a fucking fence around your goddamn house? Anyways,
Yeah, I mean, that's living in a place like that. It's time to make the cat an indoor cat, I fear.
it starts off unassuming, okay, we're bringing the cat back. And then Lewis just completely fucking snaps with reality. And okay, well, we're bringing my son back now. We're bringing my wife back now.
Yeah, like he doesn't know when to quit. How about that kiss at the end as well?
I was just going to say that that kiss at the end is just such a great scene. Rachel's face is oozing.
She reaches for the knife right in that scene. Am
She
I
does,
remembering it correctly?
and we assume that Lewis is now dead.
Yeah, like you're just an idiot, Lewis. I think one criticism I do have of the movie is that I don't really like the actor that plays Lewis. I don't think he's that. I don't think he's that great. He's sort of, eh. I mean, he's not awful. He's just kind of a bland actor. Doesn't pull off like the big emotional scenes for me.
I say this not in a derogatory way. I feel like there's probably a lot of like mid-level actors in a lot of these adaptations because of the
Yeah,
budget. Nobody was able to afford Marlon Brando. It is what it is.
really acting. Look how this truck massacred my boy.
For movies like this where you do have some acting that's maybe not of the highest caliber, it doesn't matter, at least not to a viewer like me. It's still a five-star movie. Nothing's going to change that. Even like a little bit of mid acting, the story carries. It's such a
Yeah,
great story, and you've got secondary characters that are so memorable. You've got the truck scene with Gage.
sure.
5 stars. We love it.
Yeah, we love that guy that's kind of got his brain out.
Victor Pankow,
Pascal, I think.
Pascal, whatever. Swiss cheese brain. All right. Victor Pascal, you're right. So what is your number 3 then?
My number three is one we've already talked about, actually. It's Misery. Like, like I would just echo, yeah, I would echo pretty much everything you say. Well, it's like I said, I agree with you. Is a little better. So, like what I said earlier, my opinion hasn't changed in the last 20 minutes or so. We talked about it
Yeah,
earlier. For me, it kind of showcases Stephen King's ability, which he has in his books, not just to make creatures or ghosts or hotels the villains of his story, but like really good human characters. I think at the root of it, Misery is like two very different people that have a couple of things in common and that are put into this situation, and it just escalates from there. And I think Annie Wilkes, like you were saying earlier, she's such a great villain, and she's just a human being as well. She's just a Fruit Loop of a person.
nothing supernatural about her.
No, no, she's just naturally a bitch. Naturally a crazy bitch.
We like crazy bitches here at the Body Count Continues.
Yeah,
We
I
are
mean,
crazy bitches.
I was going to say, clearly I do. I'm hosting a podcast with you. Too much? She hates me so much.
Of the two of us, you've got bigger crazy bitch energy than I do.
Do you think so? Like, I'd say let's do a poll for the listeners, but I always lose polls when it's me and you. Who's worse? Yeah, Misery is my number three. For me, it's probably the Stephen King movie that I'll rewatch the most. I know it's not my top, but I think like if you need something to watch, I can always put Misery on and watch that. It's just such a great movie, great acting, great vibes.
I think the only time you wouldn't want to watch Misery is when you're in the mood for a fun watch. Hor-
Yeah, it's not like watching Euro Trip, is it? It's a good winter watch as well. That's Snow. Oh, now on to your number two, right?
My number 2, which,
Is also in my list, I think.
well, I believe it's your number 1. And it would be my number 1, except I had to pick a non horror for my number 1, but we'll get to that after. My
Fake
number
horror fan.
2, no, there will be no slander of my number 1.
We'll see. Maybe that's your hot take. Maybe I have controversial opinion.
I will not stand for any slander of my number 1 pick, but we will get to that. For now, my number 2 pick for best Stephen King adaptation is The Shining,
Classic.
directed by Stanley Kubrick. We all know Stephen King fucking hates Kubrick's version.
No. Thought he loved it.
He fucking hates it.
Does he still hate it though, or has he mellowed a little bit? I think I've read like less hateful comments from him in the last few years.
It does differ very much from the source material.
Oh yeah, it changes most things.
It changes some important things. This is my one criticism of Kubrick. As much as I love the movie and it's 5 stars, he kills off Dick Halloran in the 3rd act, and in the book, he actually comes and helps Wendy and Danny escape.
Yeah,
You don't have a body count, but it is still one of the most unsettling stories that I have ever read, even to this day. Nobody coming to help you. There's nowhere for you to go.
no
And
beer
you
and
are
no
trapped.
TV. Make you something
Exactly.
something.
And you're trapped there with your husband, who we learn from earlier in the story has no compunction about beating his son. And you do see moments early in the movie, um, of his anger, kind of like not on full display, but
Yeah, you feel like he's always simmering in a way.
exactly. The story is so effective, and while I love the final product, I also agree with King's side. Kubrick did not fucking understand the book. He didn't understand the key points in the book. I love watching Jack Nicholson's slow descent into complete fucking madness. Danny knows what's coming. This is why he's talking to his invisible friend.
He knows what's up.
It's just this slow burn of like, "Oh, happy family, we're going out to play in the snow, we're going out to play in the maze," to "I'm locking your bitch ass in a fucking pantry." Shelley Duvall, I mean, what an icon, her and her cigarette.
Yeah, it's a great performance, especially if the Shelley Duvall gives. I know there's people that like dunk on it as well, which I don't really get. I always thought it was great performance. Like people just attack her appearance and stuff, the way she acts, and the way she acts. But I think her performance is spot on.
I'm not entertaining comments on her looks. What I will say is the performance is just top tier.
How do you feel about the ending and the change from the book? Because in the book, the boiler saves the day really, whereas in the movie, Jack just freezes and they get away.
I like Kubrick's ending.
I forget, is there a maze in the book? I know there's topiary that like sort of comes to life. So I know in the book that there's topiary animals that get involved in stuff which doesn't happen, at least in this movie, happens in the miniseries. But is there an actual maze in the book as well? It's been so long since I read it.
I believe so, but it's been years since I've read it, so I think this is my sign to reread it. I'm not a huge fan of the topiaries from the miniseries. I just think it's
Goofy.
very cartoonish, yeah, silly.
I'm not a fan of that to begin with.
But I like the ending. I like Jack freezing to death. Oh, I think that that's one thing that he got right. 5 stars, obviously. Everything on my list today is
Sweet.
5 stars.
Okay.
And I will say this,
Okay.
I like Doctor Sleep. I feel like it was completely and utterly unnecessary. It's a like, I realize how weird I sound saying that. I enjoy it. There's characters that I love. Spoiler alert, Danny dies in Doctor Sleep. I don't like that. The Shining is a perfect movie that did not need a follow-up. Anyways, on to your number 2 with my little segue.
On that note, it's kind of an appropriate segue because my number two, which I guess might be a hot take for you now that I've heard you say all that, my number two is also set at the Overlook Hotel, at least partially, but it's not The Shining, it's Doctor Sleep 2019. This unnecessarily sequel. Maybe to you it is. Not maybe not to general audiences. I think it's quite popular.
Well, it is popular, and I'm pretty sure I rated it very high, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm checking right now.
Okay.
I rated it 4 stars. I
Good.
really enjoy it. I hate that they killed Danny. I hate it.
Yeah, he gets to be a hero. And then the villain, I guess. Or at least he's assimilated by the villain. Yeah, I like Ewan McGregor's version of the character. Quite a flawed protagonist who really has a kind of redemption arc and still manages to also have a miniature villain arc. I know he's really part of the Overlook at the end. And it's not actually Danny himself.
I love Ewan McGregor's portrayal too. I don't watch it very often. I think I've only watched it twice, maybe 3 times.
I've only watched it once, actually. To say I'm including it in my top 4, I've only watched it once, but I did think it was 5 stars. This is the sequel to The Shining, which follows Danny, still got his powers, not really using them particularly well. He's not a good person at the start of the movie.
He's using them selfishly.
Yeah, he sleeps with this woman, robs her, leaves her there drunk, and she actually dies, right? And then the kid
Mm.
dies. Dick Halloran, whose ghost is still with Danny, he's not happy about all that. But yeah, we get introduced to Rose the Hat and her group who basically hunt kids and adults, I guess, who also have the Shining, which is what Danny has, of course.
It's the shinning. Shh, you wanna get
The sh-
sued?
okay, you just use that shin of yours, oh, Willie.
Shout out, best Treehouse of Horror segment.
Totally. He essentially sets up this link with this other kid who has the Shining or the Shinning, as it were. And this kid's also she's really powerful with it, and she becomes a target of Rose the Hat and her crew. And the story really revolves around them stopping Rose the Hat and her kid killing crew from. I guess
Yeah.
they feed off of the power. The people with the Shining, they like suck it out as this like sort of steam. Yeah, and it sustains them, stops them from aging. It's such a great job. Ah, I dropped my phone. Does a great job in this role. Sorry. With shambles here. Just nervous
Uh,
talking about Rebecca Ferguson, you know? We love you, Rebecca. Ultimately, they end up back at the Overlook, and I just love the scenes that call back to The Shining. I think Mike Flanagan does them so well. The new cast does them so well. The vibe for me is pretty much dead on as an echo of what Stanley Kubrick did in The Shining. It feels sort of, in a sense, it's like remaking a lot of the stuff from The Shining, even though it is a sequel. I think it strikes a great balancing act between sequel and almost a remake. And it does a great job of paying tribute to the original without diminishing it and being its own really strong thing.
he gave us what it is and what should be the blueprint for fan service.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fan service in this movie, but as you say, it's done very well. I love the movie. And of course, I'm talking about the director's cut. I didn't watch the theatrical version. I just watched, the Mike Flanagan version that I guess he's the happiest with. And I was pretty happy with it. I wasn't expecting it to be as great as it is. Like, I was expecting like 3.5 stars kind of vibes, but for me, it's 5 stars. It's not quite on the level of The Shining for me. I wouldn't go that far, but it's close enough. It doesn't diminish The Shining in any way. And I love that it goes back to the Overlook, and it, in a way, it does the original ending of the book because he has that whole thing where he ends up in the boiler room, he sees his mom, he reverts back to his childlike self, and then the whole thing goes up, and the day's saved. Like the Dick Halloran's here for a while at least, still visiting as a kind of conscience for Danny.
The recastings take me out of it.
Okay.
I wish, and I don't know if this is like a rights thing, I wish they had used clips from the original instead.
Okay.
Maybe they weren't able to do so. That is my biggest issue with this movie.
Alex Esser was fine as
Well
Wendy. I have no problems with her performance here.
well, you just said it. She was fine. Fine is like,
I don't mean that
you
in a
know
bad way.
no, but fine is like, I could she's good. To
Yeah.
me, it's nothing show-stopping. This is no, slander to the actress. You just said her name. I don't know her name, but
Alex Esser. To be fair, I think she's a Mike Flanagan regular. 5 star classic for me. Modern classic. How about that?
alrighty.
What's your number? It's your number 1 now, right? Let's fucking go. Well, people already know mine, so it's time for you to bring a surprise.
My number 1 is a surprise because it's not a horror movie.
Fake horror fan.
Shut
Go
the
ahead.
fuck up. I know this is a horror podcast, but
Is it now?
when we discussed this episode and how we were gonna structure it,
Yeah.
I did think about leaving this movie off, but we're not talking about our 4 favorite Stephen King horror movie adaptations.
No.
We're just talking about adaptations in general. And this movie is one of the greatest movies of all time, one of the best. I can't even say books because it's a short story. One of the greatest short stories I've ever read. And if you told me to make like a
Apt
list
pupil.
of get out of here, if you told me to make a list of movies I could not live without, this is on that list. My number one is The Shawshank Redemption, which is adapted from a short story called Rita Hayworth and The Shawshank Redemption. You know what? It's not horror, but that movie will terrorize the fuck out of you. Let's be real. Like the laundry room scene,
I mean, it has some characters that wouldn't be out of place in horror movies
right?
in that
Like
prison. It's the warden, the chief guard. Forget the actor's name right now, actually. Clancy something.
Clancy
Clancy Brown?
Clancy Brown, Tim Robbins obviously is the standout. He does an amazing job.
Yeah, this is his best role for me.
Morgan Freeman never misses,
Is the Irish Red.
and he's the one that gets the Rita Hayworth poster for Andy,
Ball peen hammer.
the ball peen hammer. No, well, it's a rock hammer, actually.
Is it? Okay. Shows what I know.
He calls it a rock hammer because right away, Red gets like, wait a minute, what are you asking me to get for you? And he has to kind of reassure him
I'm gonna brain
it's not a
someone with this
weapon.
hammer.
It's not a weapon. It's really small. When you see it, you'll understand
Yeah, I just want to make little chess pieces. That's all he
that
wants it for. Agatha Wink.
Clancy Brown is amazing as the guard captain, and one of the best scenes in the entire movie is the scene when they're tarring the rooftop and Andy asks him if he trusts his wife. And that's when you kind of see the balance of power change because the guards, that's the moment the guards kind of realize just how much Andy can do for them. Such a great character. And you do go through the movie, like, kind of thinking, at least until we get this new inmate halfway through, you do kind of question his innocence.
Yeah,
But we find out halfway through the movie that he is, in fact, innocent. But
because someone else bragged about the murder to this guy.
when he tries to use that information to get himself released, at this point, he knows too much.
The warden needs him too much. Damn.
He's heavily involved in the warden's financials, so the warden
It's too
doesn't give a
important.
shit. Yeah, he's too important, he knows too much, so the warden has this new inmate killed, and Andy's fate is kind of sealed,
Or so we think.
or so we think, because we do learn that Rita Hayworth, at least Rita Hayworth and then the successive posters on his wall
Hmm.
that are hiding a big tunnel that he has spent years digging,
With his little rock hammer.
which is worn down to nothing by the end, by the time he does escape. And, but he does escape. Even better, he gets to reunite with his best friend Red when Red is released after he tells the parole board that he doesn't give a fuck what they do.
Yeah.
After years of pleading and insisting that he's rehabilitated, he's just like, rehabilitated? What does that word mean? That's just a made up word. So stamp your paper or don't. I really don't give a shit.
They're like, we've broken his spirit now. Time to release him.
That's what gets him paroled.
Yeah. This guy's finished. Let him out.
Beautiful movie from start to finish with a few scenes that are guaranteed to make anybody feel very uneasy.
How about the Brooks scene?
The
Brooks was
Brooks,
here.
my heart, Brooks.
It's one of
I
the, one of the most standout emotional scenes ever.
I
Poor old man.
just wish he had done what he said he wanted to do in his letter. Just kill your grocery store manager and go back. At least then he would have
Hell
been
yeah.
alive and he would have died with his friends.
Too old for all of that.
The scene of him and he's walking around and he's like, the world went and got itself in a hurry. I've only seen a car or two, and then he's crossing the street and he's almost hit by a car because there's so many cars at this point. He just looks like a lost puppy, and that just hurts my heart and my soul. This
Yeah.
movie will touch on a wide range of emotions. It's perfect.
I have read criticisms of it. People saying that like it's kind of overly sentimental and stuff, but for me, it never feels phoned in or anything. It always works. It lands. Even the happy ending lands, which they changed from the original ending.
It's the sentimentality is necessary to the story.
Yeah,
It
it's
adds to
appropriate.
it, and the people who say that it's too sentimental, I would wager are the same people who think that Stephen King should stick to horror, and
Yeah,
this
like
story is a prime example of why he is good in all arenas.
yeah, I couldn't imagine bringing like a cynical attitude to this movie like that. It's like, would you really change the Brooks scene from the way it is? Like,
Nope,
it works so well.
it
Who
hurts my
cares if
heart.
it's sad or
Yeah,
soppy or whatever?
it hurts my heart, and it belongs in this movie. I wanna say
It was close to
arguably
my top 4. It was maybe 5
arguably,
for me.
it is the greatest Stephen King adaptation, and I just wanna say if you don't like it, who hurt you? My god.
I know, right?
In a loving way, though, like, who hurt you? because this movie is just it ticks every box,
Yeah. I
and
feel like I wanna rewatch it now just from talking about it. I
there
don't
you
know how
go.
you feel.
I always wanna
It's been
watch
a long
this movie.
time.
I love this movie. W My number 1, Shawshank Redemption, perfect movie, 5 stars, no notes,
Okay.
and now we get to your number 1. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I think we kinda spoiled it earlier, I think, but it's The Shining, Stanley Kubrick. And
Taste.
I know, right? Like, it's one thing about me is I have excellent taste. I know you agree. But yeah, for
Yeah.
me, this is like, I know I'm stingy with my ratings in general, but for me, this is one of the movies that not only do I rate it 5 stars, but I personally wouldn't change anything about it. I know you spoke earlier about your feelings on the Dick Hallorann stuff. For me, I don't really mind.
So you feel Kubrick's version is better than the book?
I think it's better than the book personally. I
Okay,
like the
that's
book.
fair.
I've only read the book once, mind you. But yeah, I think like he adapted it, he put his own stamp on it, and I think what he did in terms of what he changed, it made it more appropriate for the movie. I don't know how in the 90s you could have made topiary animals effective and not like weird looking. Yeah, and as much as Stephen King's criticized it before, I think he said something along the lines of Stanley Kubrick not understanding how horror is supposed to work, or something along those lines. You know, I don't really agree with that.
I remember him saying,
Okay,
and I'm look,
he
he's been
covers it in
asked.
his book, in one of his books. I think Danse Macabre or something. The
He
book's
does,
called.
but he's also been asked about it in multiple interviews. So he's answered this question many, many times, and I'm sure there's a lot of different quotes attributed to this question. But I do remember one of those quotes being that he felt that Kubrick didn't understand the vibe he was going for in his book. And I agree with that statement. The statement that you just made about Kubrick not understanding horror, I disagree with that.
Okay.
The book was a psychological horror, a slow burn, which the movie ultimately is because the runtime is quite long.
Yeah, I think it's well over 2 hours, but for me, it doesn't feel like that. It paced beautifully, I think. It works really well, and like I said,
Yeah.
I don't really mind that Dick Hallorann dies. They sort of use him pretty well in Doctor Sleep anyway.
Everybody who knows me knows I am a 90-minute movie girl.
You
That
are.
is my sweet spot. I don't like movies with excessive runtimes. There are a few exceptions to that, and this is definitely one of them, and I agree with you. When I sit down to watch it, it doesn't feel like it's 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, as long as it's paced well and they're not like throwing superfluous stuff in there just to pad it out like a certain group of movies does these days, then yeah, it's fine.
Okay, I'm not skipping over your little MCU slander, fuck you. I know that was about the MCU.
You know me so well. Yeah, everything belongs in this movie, I think.
Well, again, because it's a slow burn. You can't show Jack Torrance's descent into insanity
For sure.
in
Like
90 minutes.
there's like a gradual escalation of the danger that Wendy and Danny are in and like the psychological deterioration of Jack Nicholson's character, Jack. And I just think it's done so brilliantly. I could watch this movie again and again, no problemo.
I agree.
And
I
for
agree.
me, it's not just my favorite Stephen King movie, it's probably my favorite horror movie overall. Like there's 4 or 5 that are there or thereabouts. I know one of them you hate, but it's too bad.
Which one?
Black Cat's Daughter.
Ugh.
But yeah, The Shining. It's up there with stuff like The Thing and Halloween for me. Just a true classic.
It's one of the greatest horror movies of all time, and I don't think that's ever gonna change. Like, it's just a perfect movie.
Yeah. I mean, you have some people that don't like it, but you know, they're just wrong after you.
It's not gonna work for everybody, but don't try to sell me on the movie being bad because it's not.
Yeah, like what are you really gonna do to The Shining that improves on Stanley Kubrick? Like, come on now, guys.
Exactly.
But you know what? Speaking of trash, maybe it's hot take time.
It is hot take time.
What garbage movie are you about to drop on me?
Go fuck yourself. It's not a garbage movie. It's very special to me, but it
I'll
is
be
a
the
hot.
judge of that.
You will not.
Okay.
This isn't a judging thing. I can't wait to hear your hot take, by the way.
Court is now in session. I have options. Court is
Well,
now in session.
no, no, no. There's no options. You have to pick one. Anyways, I will wait until you get to your hot take.
Okay. Yeah, this is about you.
This is about me
Go
and
ahead.
my impeccable taste.
Yeah.
I didn't ask you. It was a statement, not a question. So my hot take pick is Carrie 2013. Yes, yes. Now listen,
Okay.
when I made my top 4,
I'm listening.
I had 2 other movies in the running. Like, it was really
This
hard
wasn't
for
one of them, right?
let me speak. I had 2 other movies that were in the running, but it's hard to make the decision because 'cause they're all 5 stars for me. One was Christine and one was Carrie, the original 19 I love both of those movies very dearly. Carrie has amazing rewatchability, a great, rewatch quality to it. Like, I watch it quite often. John Travolta, I mean, Sissy Spacek, and I love older movies, like 80s, 70s, anything that we can consider like a period movie at this point. I just love movies that were made in another time because I feel like they just have a completely different vibe and they show a way of life that doesn't
Yeah.
exist anymore. And I think my favorite thing about older movies, which is also my least favorite thing about newer movies, is the lack of cell phones. To make a movie in modern times, you can't ignore the fact that everybody has a cell phone, which is a huge issue when we're talking about horror movies because the genre for a long time was based on the tenet that help isn't coming.
Yeah. People
The
need to be
killer
trapped. They're
yeah,
isolated
the killer
even.
cuts the landline to the house. Now everybody has a cell phone. I find like I know you can't make a modern movie and ignore that because that's just the way
Mm.
life is now, but I find it to be such a boring part of current movies.
Yeah, there's kind of a simplicity about a lot of the older stuff that works better than the modern movies can.
Exactly. And Carrie 2013 is probably my exception to this because I love the original Piper
Okay.
Laurie. I mean, iconic as Margaret White. But I think oftentimes Julianne Moore's performance as the same character as Margaret White is heavily overlooked. She's one of my favorite actresses and
Yeah, she's a good actress.
she does such a good job of not replicating Piper Laurie's performance, but of taking it and making it her own as much as she could without completely, like, erasing the original movie. But the thing that I found most interesting about this movie is you have Carrie who's being bullied by a girl at school. Well, she's bullied by a lot of people, but the main girl that bullies her at school is Chris Hargensen, who is John Travolta's girlfriend in the original movie. And, they throw some tampons at her and they're screaming, plug it up, plug it up. The update that they made to the 2013 version felt see, this is one of those things again, it's not gonna make sense because I just got done saying that I hate the inclusion of cell phones in newer movies. But in Carrie 2013, we see that scene where they all throw tampons and pads at her. The difference is the way they've modernized it is that Chris Hargensen is recording the entire incident
Yeah.
and she ends up putting it on the internet. So, like, I've always said this, I feel like I'm a walking contradiction in a lot of
Hmm.
ways.
Totally.
And I guess what it is that I hate the over inclusion of cell phones in newer movies unless it feels appropriate to the story or necessary. And I feel like this was just a beautiful way to update a story that, the original movie was made and set in the
Yeah, it contributes to the existing storyline. It just like adds another layer to the bullying that Carrie has to go through.
It does, and it makes sense. And the 2013 version of Chris Hargensen's character is a lot nastier than the originals,
Okay.
and I also feel like we get a better end to her. In the original, Carrie flips John Travolta's car while him and Chris Hargensen are in it, and it blows up. In this one, she crashes the car into a gas station pump, but before it explodes, we get to see Chris Hargensen's face, bloody face,
Yeah, she face plants the windscreen.
like, yeah, halfway through the windshield, and we get to see her in a great deal of pain, which I think from a viewer's point of view is quite satisfying. At least
Yeah.
for me, it's satisfying.
And they use digital effects for that.
They did,
It's one of the cases where it was appropriate and it
but
worked.
it looks great. It came out looking really good, I think.
Yeah.
And Chloe Grace Moritz as Carrie. I think she did an amazing job.
Okay.
The only thing, which is my complaint across all iterations of Carrie, all adaptations of Carrie, and unfortunately, I'm very sad to learn because Mike Flanagan is making a new Carrie movie. Unfortunately, this movie will be no different. Carrie will be played by a skinny actress. This is one thing that pisses me off because Carrie in the original book, she's chubby, she's chunky, she's not skinny.
Sure. She's never like that in the adaptations.
Movie studios are deathly afraid of plus size actresses. I don't get it. It's like the she's all that effect. Like, let's take a really pretty girl and put her hair in a ponytail and put some glasses on her, and the audience will believe that she's fugly.
Don't forget about the pink covered overalls.
But then, after a 30-second fucking makeover, she's stunning. Like, I hate that shit. Chloe Grace Moritz, she's skinny too, but so's so's everybody who's ever played the role. But I do think she knocked it out of the park, as well as
Yeah.
Julianne Moore. Like, just yeah, hot take, because
Yeah.
I
It's
know that
hot.
so many people hate on this movie. I know there's also a select few that really do like it,
Yeah.
but I love it. I just love it. It's 4 stars for me.
I think that's like twice what I gave it.
I'm sure it is.
I mean, I don't mind the scene where she gets the blood on her and starts killing people and stuff. You mentioned that one scene with the windshield. That's really good. For me, that's about it.
That's fair.
Generally, I think the cast is pretty forgettable. I think of this movie and it's Chloe Grace Moretz and Julianne Moore, and I like them as actresses. Don't get me wrong, badly miscast in this movie for me.
Okay.
I do not think Chloe Grace Moretz was a good choice for Carrie. I do not think Julianne Moore was a good choice for her
You
mother.
are entitled to your wrong opinion.
Yeah,
That's what this is
sure.
about.
Like they are so different from the original movie. It's crazy. Like,
But
no,
you say that they are so different from they are. I agree with that. But then we look at movies. I'll throw this out as a for instance, like Psycho, the remake done by Gus Van Sant, which is I want to
Swingers
say
Norman Bates.
like it's pretty universally panned as one of the worst remakes in existence. And one of the worst things about it is that it's a word for word remake.
Yeah,
Scene for scene, shot for shot. The only difference is that it's shot in color, but everything is the same. So while I agree with you that, they're both wildly different from the original cast, I do wonder if casting two actresses that were more reminiscent of Sissy Spacek and Piper Laurie would have just turned the criticism towards
yeah,
like it turned the criticism in more of a psycho direction of like, okay, well, this is the same, so what's the point?
yeah. I mean, I,
But
I guess
I know you're in the majority with your opinion, and I know I'm in the minority,
I
and
don't
that's
know.
okay.
I don't know about when it comes to the actors. I know the movie's not that revered. So I guess like you don't have to be all that different looking or overweight to be bullied. So it's kind of a universal thing, But Carrie
S-
White is Carrie White. She's not Chloe Grace Moretz. And in Julia Moore, like I say, a great actress. Yeah,
Let's be real though.
yeah.
Chloe Grace
She's not
Moretz
perfect.
is beautiful. She
Yeah,
is
like
a
she's not Carrie
ab-
White.
she's an absolutely stunning girl, and so is Sissy Spacek, but her looks are more untraditional.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And I
Chloe
think
Grace
that's why
Moretz
she was
doesn't
cast.
stick out in any
No.
way.
No, they just put some frumpy,
Yeah,
clothes on her.
it's kind of half-assed.
That's fine.
And,
I know that's the popular opinion.
and I want to be able to say something good about Julianne Moore as a mother because, like I say, she's a great actress, but
But she does
not
that
this role.
you need maybe it's time for you to do a rewatch, but for
Maybe
me,
Piper Laurie
we
is
we
so
don't
much
get
better choice.
but I'm not disagreeing with that. Like the original is 5 stars. This one is 4. I'm not saying
Yeah.
it's better, but gave us unhinged Julianne Moore. She does that so fucking well. Just I want her in a horror movie. She has amazing fucking range.
Is she an Oscar winner yet, or just nominated? I know she got nominated.
I think
Don't know
she's
whether she
just a
won.
nominee, but anybody who's questioning her acting chops, I invite you to watch Boogie Nights. Julianne Moore's performance in that movie is nothing short of perfect.
What's Carrie White's mom's name?
Margaret White.
Okay, well, I guess like the difference for me then is I watch the original Carrie and I see Margaret White. I watch the remake and I see Julianne Moore playing Margaret White.
That's fair. Like I said,
If you see what I mean, like
I
she's
expected
doing her best.
opposition. I expected opposition to my choice. That was the whole point of this. And
Thank you.
we will have a good fist fight about this later, and we both know who will come out on top. So
the thing about this is that we can ask other people what they think too.
It's not making, my top 20 list of all-time favorite horror movies. It's just one of many movies that I love that everybody seems to hate, and
Yeah.
that's my MO, is that I love a lot of things that the majority of people hate.
Oh,
Halloween Ends lover right here, so I'm used to it. My hot take, Carrie 2013, it slaps. Now on to you. Now it's time for me to criticize you.
okay. I mean, I'm still sort of torn. I think, like, when we say Stephen King movies, does it have to be a direct adaptation of a Stephen King movie, or can it be spun off from a Stephen King movie? Sequel is what I'm
I
saying.
I ha I have a feeling I know where you're going with this.
So does it have to be an original Stephen King story, or can it be a sequel?
So your hot take is Pet Cemetery 2.
It was going to be. It's just
Okay.
it's whether you agree
Well,
to include that, because
okay.
I don't think he claims ownership over any of the
He
Pet
does not
Cemetery
claim
movies
ownership over it.
after that. Clancy Brown strikes again, though. He plays another good villain.
For
Why would you bury him in the Pet Cemetery to bring him back? He was bad enough already. I f- I think maybe I'm a little biased because this is, like, going back to when I was a kid. This is one of the VHS tapes that I had,
Alright, so it's one of the
and
first horror movies you watched.
maybe, yeah, and I probably watched it more than the original, actually, because I didn't have that back in the day.
Don't you dare tell me you like this better than the original Pet Cemetery. What?
No, I
Your
just thought
silence says it all. Holy fuck,
I
no.
just thought that silence would be funny. No, I like the original more, but I like this. I think it's a fun movie.
Okay.
Like, am I using the "you just hate fun" defense against Marianne today? Because
No, 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 we're not
I
using the "you just hate fun" defense with this fucking movie. Are you joking right now? No,
I
no.
enjoy it. I enjoy it. I like the
Okay,
story.
you're
Edward
allowed.
Furlong, and I can do without Edward Furlong most of the time, but I thought he was well cast in this movie. I liked the guy from ER that plays his dad.
Anthony Edwards. Okay.
Clancy Brown was a great villain for me. I thought he was really, really a
So
great choice as a villain.
I'm gonna say that no, this doesn't count. It has to be
Okay,
a direct adaptation.
so
I
after all
will
that,
yes, I will take this opportunity to say, because
fuck you.
I really don't like that movie.
I know, like, you vetoed my my choice. It's that bad.
No, I'm vetoing it because I picked a direct adaptation, and, I mean, in all
Okay,
fairness, when we discussed our lists, we didn't really have the conversation about whether or not they had to
yeah.
be direct
But I wanted
adaptations,
to
but
keep it a secret, you see, so I couldn't really ask you
okay,
because then you'd have
so
figured it out.
what is your hot take direct adaptation?
Funnily enough, it's also Pet Sematary.
What?
I enjoyed the 2019 movie.
Oh, I was gonna say, okay,
It's
that
not
makes
the original.
sense. No, that makes sense. I was gonna say, if you're calling the original Pet Cemetery a hot take, we're gonna fucking fight.
I mean, it's a hot take with people with no taste, but no, we're on the same wavelength with that. But the new one is very different, and I thought, based on, like, the trailers and the promo material that they were dropping, that I was gonna hate it. The kids in the masks and all that stuff. But I thought the casting was pretty good. I don't like that they changed
I hate the
Gabe
gender
with his
swap.
sister. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't like that part. But I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. I know most people shit on it. This is like my carry. And I sort of like where it went in the end. Again, it's very different, very modernized and inferior to the original. But the
It
family group is like a weird zombie family that's assimilating everyone else in the family.
I agree. I did enjoy the ending. I enjoyed the different but this is exactly what it should be. And this is I'm gonna go back to Psycho and the shot for shot, word for word remakes. If you're just gonna copy the original, that's tantamount to saying, well, we can't do this any better. And if you can't do it any better, don't fucking try. Just call
Sure,
it a day.
and even if you can't do it better, you've got to have some ambition. Otherwise, it's pointless.
And I don't think this ending was better, but I think it was something different and it did work. It's still inferior to the original. I don't enjoy the rest of the movie. I don't enjoy the erasure. You cannot remake Pet Cemetery.
And he's still there. It's just
Yeah, but
he's not the main one.
he's the one that gets hit by the truck. He's like Gage is one of the most iconic parts of the original movie, if not the most iconic part of the original movie. I don't care. I'll be honest, I don't care about the Ellie character. Not in the original and not in the reboot.
Yeah, like she's just a cat. She's just a catalyst for church getting revived in the original. She's no big deal.
She's
And
nothing
in this one, she's the
special.
main character, basically. I think that Jason Clarke is a better Louis Creed.
I do agree with that, but in every conceivable way, I find it inferior to the original, and the only part that I really kind of that captured my interest was the ending.
Of course, trash. We don't need to talk about the prequel.
Let's not hate on Bloodlines too much now.
So that's the one that you like, but you don't like this. This movie was garbage, man. That was like the Leatherface of Pet Cemetery series.
It wasn't great. I think I rated it like 3 stars, but I didn't hate it. Which Bloodlines had David Duchovny? Now I remember.
Yeah,
My Swiss cheese brain. The one you're talking about right now has John Lithgow as Judd, right?
yeah. I like John Lithgow, but it's an impossible
That
situation.
was that was another part I liked about the remake. John Lithgow is one of my favorite actors, and he's such an underrated actor.
Yeah,
He played the Trinity Killer on Dexter, and that is some of the greatest television ever created. When they announced the remake, that was the thing that got me most excited to watch it, was hearing that he was cast as Judd.
yeah. I mean, like I say, it's difficult to step into Fred Gwynn's shoes for a role like that, but I
But
thought he did a good job.
he does his best, and
It's a
Fred Gwynn is
sympathetic
undefeated,
portrayal.
but he
Did
made
you
it
ever
his own.
did you ever see Raising Cain? He was really good in that too.
I did. That's such a good movie.
Yeah, Brian De Palma one, I think, right?
Yeah.
Well, I've
No,
not seen that in years, but I remember he was really good in that. And of course, The Twilight Zone.
he's amazing in everything. Like, I dare anybody
So underrated.
yeah, I dare anybody to show me a John Lithgow headlined movie or any character that he's ever played where he misses the mark, because I don't think such a movie exists.
I assume you've rated it higher than Pet Sematary 2. I don't even need to
I
check that.
I don't think I've rated Pet Sematary 2 only because I haven't watched it since I signed
Okay.
up for Letterboxd. Look, it's a hot take for a reason. There are things I enjoy about the new Pet Sematary, but largely I am gonna kind of sit here and openly mock you because you mocked me for liking Carrie. So it's not even that
Okay.
I disagree with you, I just wanna fucking give it back to you because I feel like you
Okay.
deserve it.
Okay, I did have like a third choice that you also would have hated.
What was the 3rd choice?
It's not. I went against it because it's not really a hot take outside of this recording session, but it would have been It Chapter One. I thought it was a great movie.
I mean,
I think that might be a 4.5 star movie for me.
I don't think that's a hot take. The new It movies were widely pretty well received. I have issues with them because I'm just so fond of the original 1990s miniseries. Mm.
What was- As much as I have my own sentimental attachment to the original, there is a lot that was upgraded in the remakes or redos, whatever you want to call them.
So your hot take is Pet Cemetery,
Okay, that's the final decision and final pick.
and
And we're pretty much done.
I will say that Carrie kicks Louis Creed's ass. I'm curious to hear everybody's thoughts on our hot takes.
Yeah, yeah,
You
and
know, feel free to tell us which one of us is wrong and which one of us
okay,
is
yeah.
right.
Yeah, like, I trust the judgment of all our handsome and beautiful followers.
Stop that. You've got some brown on your nose.
But yeah,
You're
and
so cheap.
we're also looking forward to The Long Walk. We haven't
Can't
seen
wait
it
for the
yet.
long
We
walk.
haven't seen it yet, so we can't exactly say that we recommend it, but we're hyped and we'll be watching.
We are. I will be there opening day,
I know it. I
and,
probably won't be, but we'll see where I am. Maybe I'll go see it in theaters. I don't do that often. Treat myself
well,
to
yeah.
people suffering over a course of several days.
You know, they're doing a showing where they're gonna have treadmills, and they're gonna
Yeah, I
make you
saw
walk
that.
on it, and if you stop at any point, they kick you out of the movie.
I'd be screwed.
I feel like you should do that
Yeah, I
for
mean, I'll be
for the
suffering like the
lull
characters by the end.
for the lulls. Just do it and film it. See your crippled-ish ass on the treadmill trying to keep up for maybe, what, 2 plus hours?
I'd definitely be sympathizing with the characters. Feel their pain.
You did not just fucking say that. You did not
I
just fucking say that.
We are
I
the same,
can't.
he and I.
You're so stop it. You're so unserious.
Is it still an all male contest in the movie?
It
It wasn't a
is.
book. Okay. I don't
Yeah,
know whether they changed it. You know they like to change things.
it's an all-male contest. I'm very much looking forward to we're that's yeah, that's I think that's both of us are on the same page. It's our most anticipated movie of the year.
Yeah, I mean, nothing else comes to mind really.
It sounds
Yeah.
like JT Molnar and Francis Lawrence really stuck to the source material, which I'm super excited about. JT Molnar is also scheduled to direct an adaptation of The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon, which is another one I've always wanted to see done.
Are we gonna decide on a combined top 4?
We are.
We have the 2 that overlap. We've got Misery and The Shining, so they've gotta be in there really.
They've gotta be in there,
I'm
and I
happy for
hate
The Shawshank Redemption to be in there too.
I was gonna say I hate to steamroll you, but it has to be in there. And then it comes down to Pet Cemetery or Dead Zone,
Well,
and
I think that Pet Cemetery was probably my 5th choice. Dead Zone certainly wasn't your 5th choice, so it only makes sense then for Pet Cemetery to round it off. So our combined top 4 is it your top 4?
our combined top 4 is made up of more of my movies, but I mean, look, we love them all at the end of the
Well,
day,
it's
so
The Shining, Misery. Is Misery in there? No.
no,
Shining, Pet Cemetery.
wait a minute. This is so, like I'm so lost right now. Our combined top 4 is Shawshank, The Shining, Pet Cemetery, and Misery,
Okay. Yeah, this is what I'm saying though. Our combined top 4 is just your top 4.
which means that my top 4 is the correct top 4.
We worked it out amongst ourselves. Damn,
I
cooked.
mean, you're the one who agreed with Shawshank and Pet Cemetery, so you helped to make our combined top 4 my actual top 4, which
No, that's
basically
great.
which basically means you just said your taste is correct and mine is not. And so I wanna
What
just
a
take an
cell phone.
opportunity to thank you for that.
No worries. No, like
I
someone
have the
else
better
might be
taste,
petty and salty
confirmed.
and insist on changes, but oh, this is
You
funnier. I'll allow it.
you are salty deep down, just like you were salty when I won that zombie poll.
Can't believe I backed myself into a corner
Oh my god.
saying, "Oh well, it
Well,
has to be these 2," and then I guess I'll allow your 2,
wow.
and it's just your 4.
I have the better taste confirmed.
I mean,
Yay.
we'll still do a poll, but I fear I might be cooked on this poll.
Well, we'll do a poll for our hot take picks. I wanna see which one is more beloved.
Okay.
But if you win, I'm not gonna get butthurt like you do.
Okay. So that
No, but I'm so
that's great that
used
we
to people
arrived at that.
hating what I like, so it's fine. I'm good with it.
No, that's why you should come over to Rob Zombie's Halloween Truth Aside.
Oh my god.
Okay. Well,
Stop
that's for
bringing
another
this
day.
up every episode.
I'm trying to, wear you down, like my little rock hammer comments.
You're not gonna wear me down when it comes to Flop Zombies Halloween. To be fair, I like Rob Zombie, but when we're
Sounds
talking
like
about
it.
I do, I love the Firefly trilogy, but when we talk about his version of Halloween and Halloween 2 and the monsters, it's Flop Zombie.
Okay.
He's 50-50,
Okay.
his batting average, but
Uh,
so now that we've gotten the hot takes out of the way, what are some of your favorite Stephen King adaptations that, in your opinion, don't get nearly as much love as they deserve?
Okay, so not so much hot takes, just underseen or underreported ones.
Yeah, I mean, look, pretty much everybody loves The Shining. Everybody loves Misery. Like, these are movies that are probably always included in any conversations about Stephen King. And I mean, look, he's written so many books at this point, and there's so many adaptations.
Yeah, so many been adapted multiple times as well, so there's got to be hundreds. Like, how many Wikipedia pages we talking?
It took me a while to scroll the Wikipedia page. There was a lot of stuff there.
Well, I rewatched Cujo recently, and I think that really holds up so well. I can't remember whether I watched it with you or not. But
Yeah, we
did I
watched
watch it
it
with you?
together. Yeah,
Okay, there you go. You were there too, so you know how much I enjoy it. Yeah,
Cujo's such a good one because I think you view dogs as, like, wholesome. They're just these wholesome creatures that exist on this earth just to give us love.
especially St. Bernard's, just big cuddle monsters.
Saint Bernards, I love that. Saint
Yeah,
Bernards.
St. Bernard's. Do you call them something else? Do you say Bernard?
Saint Bernards, but
I think
I
we
love
call
an
them St. Bernard's here.
I'm not mocking you. I love an English accent. It's always refreshing to hear how you guys pronounce some things differently from us, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and even in the book, Joe's, a big, cuddly, positive dog until the bat gets hold of him. And then it all goes downhill when the
It's
stress and the insanity takes over, and it becomes a really good horror movie with Dee Wallace and her son isolated in the car.
it's amazing how good it is considering it's focused on this singular location that
Yeah,
otherwise would seem kind of dull. Like, who wants to spend an hour and a half
for
watching a
sure,
movie that takes place in a car,
for
right?
sure. Yeah, and even as he becomes, I guess, would you call him the villain or just the antagonist? This big dog. Even as he's attacking and killing people, you feel sort of sympathy for him with all the grime on his face and the whimpering that he does along the way.
He's
So
not the villain. I
it's
mean,
multifaceted.
he got bit by a bat. I mean, that's nothing
Yeah, the bat's
that's
the
not
villain. Fuck
that's not
bats.
his fault. If yeah, fuck the bat that hurt this precious puppy.
Like, why couldn't he turn into Bat Dog?
He just takes something that we're so used to, like dogs. So many people out there have dogs, and if you don't have a dog, you love dogs, and if you don't love dogs, well, I'm side-eyeing you right now. But like I said, it's this wholesome thing. It's this wholesome relationship between humans and dogs, and Stephen King just does such a good job of kind of turning it on its head, and I've never once felt like the dog is the villain. Fuck that bat,
Yeah,
and
that's the
that
takeaway for Cujo.
that poor dog.
Exactly right. How do you feel about the ending? Because they changed it from the book to be more positive with the kid surviving, whereas in the book he dies.
I don't like it. I mean,
Oh,
look, I'm an
you
advocate
agree
of
with
the
me?
I'm an advocate of the "fuck them kids" cinematic universe, right? In older movies, I think, Jaws is probably the only example that I can think of an older movie where the director was like, "No, fuck this kid, we're killing him." And I love it. So, yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't like the change. I don't like the change, but I like the movie regardless.
yeah, I never liked it either. I don't mind a bleak ending. I think I remember reading or seeing in a documentary that Stephen King agreed with them changing it to be more upbeat, but I don't.
I think a lot of people who only watch his movies and have never read his books would probably be very shocked at the graphic nature in a lot of his books, and it ends up watered down in the
That's
film adaptations, unfortunately. I wish more directors would kind of stick to the source material. The one exception for me is The Mist. Frank Darabont changed the ending. I love that ending. It's so bleak and it's
it's
awful and it's
it's a
sad, and
very dark ending.
I fucking love it
Like Thomas
so
Jane,
much,
he had timing issues there.
right? Just a little bit more patience on your part, dude, and your kid would be alive.
Exactly, just let the boy nap for another minute and maybe he won't have to blow his brains out after all.
Wow. If he had maybe hesitated a second before deciding that his kid needed to die.
I know. Build up to it at least. I don't remember whether I read the original short story for that because it's part of a short story book, isn't it? The Mist.
It is.
Yeah, it's not a novel.
But I've read it. I don't remember the ending.
Did Mrs. Cuddy die at least?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay,
I'm sure
okay.
I'm sure, but it's funny, anytime I say I don't remember something in reference to a movie or even a book that I've read, it's kind of like my sign to go back and
To go back.
revisit it. So I think I need to reread The Mist because I'm sure she did. I mean,
Can only hope.
he's really good at kind of giving people what they deserve in his books. So I'm sure she died, but now I'm gonna reread it. But
Okay.
The Mist is another good one that we don't talk about much. Creepshow is one of my favorites. I mean, I don't think it gets lost in the conversation because it is a very popular movie,
It's not
but
really on the same tier as The Shining and The Shawshank Redemption in terms of the amount of people that rave about it, though. Even though it's great, I think it's one of the best anthology movies even today when we have so many of them.
hands down, it's my favorite anthology movie.
Doesn't have a bad segment.
It doesn't. Creepshow 2 also, by extension, is also a really, really good movie, and there's a TV show that's been airing on Shudder. Well, it's over now, and I'm kind of ashamed to say that I've never checked it out. It's been on my list of things to watch forever, and I never really started it, and I'm a little bit ashamed of that. I feel like I should turn in my horror fan card.
Maybe, but then I'd have to too because I haven't watched the main series. I watched a couple of the specials that they did and I didn't think they were very good. But the first two movies certainly I enjoy. Not the third one, we don't talk about that.
No, we don't.
But funnily enough, since you mentioned Creepshow 2, I would say The Raft by itself is one of my favorite anthology segments in any movie.
Yes.
That was such a great adaptation.
Yes. I love
And
yes.
it has the guy with the moment at the end where he thinks he's made it, sort of like, the guy in Cabin Fever.
Oh,
Does he shout about how he won as well? Something like that. And then this
yes.
thing just leaps out of the water.
Yep.
It gets him anyway.
I love it when people celebrate prematurely.
Then they get got anyway. And the effects in that sequence as well, so good, especially for the time. I think it was 87, right?
Yeah.
Creepshow 2? Like that that concept, this hidden thing in the water that's just picking people off, it's I mean, it's very blob-like, but it sounds like something that would be difficult to adapt in a way that doesn't look goofy, and they manage it. I like the segment with the Indian statue too. The hitchhiker one's okay, but the Indian just getting revenge for that old couple. What a guy.
For me, Creepshow 1 and 2, there's really no misses in either one, but like you said, 3 is kind of meh for me.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you that I remember anything from 3. I just remember I didn't enjoy it, and I wanna rewatch Creepshow 2 now that we've talked about it.
Always a good idea. So, another one that I love, this one is so criminally underrated. I feel like more people need to watch it, is
Yeah.
Thinner. Thinner is such a good movie. It's adapted from the novel of the same name, and he published it as Richard Bachman.
Okay, it was the Bachman one.
It is, like, trigger warning, there's parts that have not exactly aged well, but on the whole, I really enjoy the movie. I love everything that Joe Mantegna is in, and Joe Mantegna plays this, like, mafia guy.
Oh, yeah. Sounds like a kind of German 10-year-old.
He essentially plays Fat Tony from The Simpsons, but in a movie,
I support it.
and with a little bit more vulgarity, but, no,
Fat
he
Tony
plays
Unleashed.
right? Except he's not the fat one. He's not fat, but
It's Fit Tony. Remember Fit Tony from the lesser era of The Simpsons?
ugh, no, I don't re that's why I don't remember it. I only fuck with the golden era of The Simpsons. So John Robert Burke stars in Thinner, does an amazing job, and his wife, Heidi, who is such a bitch.
A bitch in a Stephen King movie. Say it
No,
ain't
but
so.
you don't understand, like, I don't know, I have
You feel
strong
a burning hatred for her.
I do, but that's just credit to the actress who played her because she did a really I love to hate her, that's what it is. She did a really good job, and that's, Lucinda Jenny, who is Mrs. Bill Moseley, even though her last name is not well, I don't know if she took his name, but anyways, she's married to Bill Moseley. She's married to
Lucky her.
Chop Top. Very lucky her. I would love to, like, Freaky Friday with her for a day or 20.
She was in Free From Hell too, right? Am I correct in thinking she's the one that got her face peeled off?
Yep,
Yeah,
Nebraska.
not the state, the character.
Rob Zombie is really weird when it comes to naming characters. Very weird.
Well, yeah, we
But
know that from The House of 1,000 Corpses and The Devil's Rejects.
yes.
And even the Halloween movies, really. He came up with some strange new names for the characters in that.
Yeah, it's just your goal to bring up Rob Zombie Halloween every time we record. And I'm catching on to that.
Okay.
You just wanna shout it out the way I wanna shout out Jason every single time we record. It's funny.
To keep a counter, see who gets the most in. How do you
Yeah.
feel about Dreamcatcher? Because that was one that I guess I wouldn't say I love it, but I watched it a lot when I was a kid, and I kind of have an attachment to that. And I like the cast.
There was a time, not so much anymore because and I hate to say it, but Stephen King has been on a bit of a decline in terms of, the quality of his writing. But there was a time when I would be at the bookstore on drop day to buy his new book every single time,
Like Annie Wilkes.
right? I'm his number one fan.
Good thing that van didn't hit him in Canada.
But I was there day 1 and I bought Dreamcatcher. And I just remember being underwhelmed by the book. The movie, which is another one I haven't seen in a while, I enjoyed it. It's not 5 stars. I don't know what I'd rate it. Not everything has a rating off the top of my head.
For me, it's probably like 3. I don't think it's an amazing film, but it's one that I enjoy, and it's one that I I guess it might be a hot take to say that I like it, and I've seen it get shit on by a few people.
Like I said, I found the book underwhelming. There are some books that are just better as movies because they require the visuals, if that
Yeah.
makes any sense. Stephen King does an excellent job of transporting you to wherever in Maine because it's always in Maine.
Yeah, it's 99% of the time it's Maine,
Yeah, but he does
and this
such a
is
good
too.
job of transporting you into the story, and like I said, Dreamcatcher, I feel like it it got a boost from the visuals of being on screen, for me personally, as opposed to just reading it.
Yeah, and I think Mr. Gray's first appearance was amazing for me, especially
Yeah,
as a kid.
I feel like I'd have to rewatch it, but I feel like my rating would probably be on par with yours. 3 stars. Don't love it, don't hate it.
Yeah, the visuals towards the end where Duddits turns into an alien and they have that little fight where they blend together. That's not so good. I think it's two-thirds of a really good movie, and then the final act happens and it doesn't quite work. But I think it's
No,
worth watching overall. Give it a shot. You might like it. It's got Jason Lee in it.
we're gonna have people mad at us because we made them watch Dreamcatcher.
Morgan Freeman plays a bad guy, which he's done a couple of times, but it's one
He
of the main ones.
is a really good bad guy, and you know what I've said this a few times, but I think it really needs to be shouted from the rooftops. I need unhinged, crazy, psycho Morgan Freeman in a horror movie. Like, I'm gonna use Heretic as an example. Heretic didn't blow me away, but Hugh Grant's performance was amazing, and there's nothing I love more than getting a really good horror performance out of somebody that you would never expect it from.
Yeah,
There's nothing better in this world, especially when they nail it.
and Hugh Grant did nail it in that
He
movie.
did, and that's what I want from Morgan Freeman. Just put him in a movie where he's just some crazy ass motherfucker. Like, you know what would be cool? I'm so like,
What would be cool?
"Oh god, you're gonna be able to tell how hard the edibles are hitting based off of this suggestion. Now, walk with me while
I'm
I tell you
walking,
this.
kind of.
Hobble with me." Morgan Freeman with a turkey baster.
Dear. And then in the sequel, they try to make him the good guy. Did you ever watch Don't Breathe 2?
I think I did, but I have no recollection of it.
It's all about the same guy from the first movie essentially fighting and killing to get custody of a child. Why would I want this man to have a child after what he
No,
did at the first one?
I do remember the redemption arc.
Yeah. We don't need Morgan Freeman to have a redemption arc, though. Just have him play the bad guy for a movie,
For those who are listening to understand, my brain is about 32 gigabytes, just like as an example.
maybe
I have on
24.
kiss my ass. I have only so much room in my brain. And, like, I'm always so impressed when I see people, like, with this vast not even I have a good knowledge of horror. It's my memory that fails me. And when I see people who can just, like, pull out facts, I'm always in such awe. Like, when we watch, The Last Drive-In, Joe Bob. Where do you store all this fucking information? I've got space in there for, like, Jason and my favorite Jason, like, my favorite franchises, so Michael, and then, there's the knowledge of my favorite, like, kind of random movies, and then other stuff, like, enters my brain while I'm watching it, and then the next day, it's, like, pushed out by something else. There's really a limit as to how much my brain can retain.
Yeah, same, unfortunately. I wish I was like Joe Bob Briggs, too.
Like like I said, I remember the redemption arc. I remember the storyline of him trying to, like, save this kid. Don't ask me any more details because I have no clue. Another really good example of that, and don't hate me for saying this, is Wolf Creek. I've seen both movies multiple times, and I love Mick, and I know he drives a pickup truck in the Australian outback, and I know that we've got 2 movies with final boys instead of final girls. Ask me any detail beyond that, I have absolutely no clue. He's just a sadistic Aussie.
TV series did correct it a little bit. That gave us two final girls.
Yes, I liked the TV series, but we're getting away from Stephen King. We're always getting off topic.
I know, right? So you did this.
I know I did.
I'm trying to
No,
reel
but
you in, but you unreeled
alright,
me.
reel me in then. There's so many titles, and we can't get into them all, but, like, Silver Bullet, Maximum Overdrive,
It's a
um,
fun one. One of the worst movies ever, people say. Nah, it's fun.
this one almost made my top 4, and I was kind of really sad to take it out of my top 4, is Christine, one of John Carpenter's best movies, in my opinion.
I agree. It's got to be a top four John Carpenter movie for me. Maybe?
Creeped me out as a kid. I remember
Trying,
watching it
trying
when
to
I
think,
was
actually.
when I was younger creeped me the fuck out, like, the scenes where the car would just turn on its own and the radio and that music. Oh my god,
Yeah,
creepy.
it's got a great vibe as well. Is it, I forget what decade it's set in. Is it the 50s or the 60s?
The movie takes place in 1978.
Okay, so 70.
Yeah, no, I that's kind of why, the music it plays is that's part
Yeah.
of what makes it creepy. It's like it's old and I don't know why old things are creepy. I don't know where that correlation comes from.
Yeah, that is a great one too.
One that I have to shout out, one of my favorite and definitely underrated, Children of the Corn. We like creepy children. I like creepy children. They creep me out.
Yeah, Children of the Corn, it's one I didn't like originally, but the more I've rewatched it, the more it's grown on me.
Isaac and Malachi are just
Yeah, great casting.
like, again,
I don't
it's
mind
it
Linda Hamilton either in that movie.
no, and you can kind of compare it to Cujo because kids, wholesome, little tiny humans you don't expect, to be evil. So that was actually one of I think when I started getting into horror, that was one of my favorite subgenres, was, like,
Kill the
creepy
Kids.
children. Children of the Corn, I watched Mikey a lot when I was younger, just random movie, and Village of the Damned, which is an awful knockoff of Children of the Corn. Then segueing into creepy children, we have Firestarter. The book is better than the movie,
I would hope so.
but I enjoy the movie. I'm sorry, Drew Barrymore is a scream queen.
She's been a scream queen since forever, since the very start.
She is a scream queen, but more than anything, she's just a film queen, like cinema royalty from her family.
Well, yeah.
I felt like growing up, not so much anymore. She's got like a talk show, and I think she's shifted from acting. But I feel like growing up, once a month there was a new movie opening in theaters, and she was in it. She was always in fucking something.
That could have been your hot take, really, because I think that's one of the more lower rated ones.
Mm,
I think people prefer it to the remake, and understandably so, but
it
I
is.
wouldn't say that I like either one of them.
Well, look, I see hate for Carrie too, the Carrie remake, which is ultimately what I chose. But I don't know, maybe I have a few hot takes, but I have one that's not a hot take. And
Okay,
if you do not like this movie, I am side eyeing you.
here we go.
And
The
that movie
Langoliers.
is Stand By Me.
Stand By Me.
Stand By Me.
Yeah,
Come on.
classic.
Based on the novella The Body is so good. The first time I watched it, I remember not being able to put it down. And then when my
First time
parents
you
told
read it,
me,
you mean?
yeah, sorry. The first time I read it, I couldn't put it down, and then I remember my dad telling me, "Yeah, there's a movie based on it," and I was allowed to watch it because it wasn't horror, but I was never allowed to see the scene with the dead body.
Oh, okay. They just like fast forwarded, or made you cover your
Uh,
eyes.
I think my dad just got up and stood in front of the TV,
Damn,
from what I remember.
it was serious.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Great adaptation. I agree. One of my favorite movies to watch as a kid. Although it does have one negative connotation for me.
What's that?
The one time in my life I was ever knocked out was when I was watching Stand By Me.
What do you mean?
I was watching it with my friends at their house, and one of them just pushed me off the edge of the bed that we were sat on, and I landed on my head. I was out cold for a couple of minutes.
Wow.
I know, so
So my
it's a
2 takeaways from that is
it's a
number
traumatic
1,
movie for me. Not
number
really.
yeah, my first takeaway from that is fuck the kid who pushed you, sounds like an
I know.
asshole.
He was an asshole.
To quote you, "Rest in piss won't be missed."
Yeah, fuck you, Simon. Go ahead.
Yeah, fuck you, Simon. But then my second takeaway is so much of everything I know about you suddenly makes sense.
I knew you were gonna have a dig up. It all makes sense now. You have brain damage.
I mean, it's not a dig. I was dropped on my head as a baby. I feel like that's kind of a universal thing.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah, some people get dropped on their head and become serial killers. Others just have bad taste in movies, like me.
I'm pretty sure if you fell off a bed, to be fair, I think I fell from a higher height. My godmother was standing holding me. And I was also like 8 or 9 months old, and she
Okay.
dropped me square on my head.
And a
So,
family of tall women, so it would have been a great height.
no, actually, the men are
Oh,
tall in my family.
okay. That's where you get it from.
My height comes from my dad. My mom was tiny. She was a little shrimpy.
Oh, the more you know.
Yeah. What do you think of Needful Things?
I haven't watched that for, I think, 15 years, and I don't remember liking it. But again, it might be one that I need to revisit.
I don't wanna say that I don't like it. I remember it being very unspectacular.
Yeah, that's the memory that I have, is that it was kind of bland and maybe a little bit cheesy,
Yeah.
which again isn't always bad. I know a lot of movies in the 90s especially were like that. They had that sort of vibe. But I don't wanna write it off completely because it's been so long, but I guess I'd need to rewatch it to know whether I'm a Needful Things true for now. I love the book.
Yeah, so did I. I like the book, and it's happened a few times where, I like the book, so I really kinda look forward to watching the movie, and
And
unfortunately, it kinda falls flat.
funnily enough, since you mentioned Stand By Me, it does have a character from The Body in it as well. He gets to have another villainous arc in that movie for a while until he's dispatched. I forget
Yes.
his name. It's the guy that Kiefer Sutherland plays in Stand By Me. You don't have to think of it. It's okay. We
Um,
know who Kiefer Sutherland is.
yes, we do. That's daddy, one of many.
I
I have
know,
I
like,
I have daddy issues, many, many.
we'll have a Marianne Daddy episode at one point, guys.
Oh,
She'll list them off and I'll just be reacting to them. I'm like, God, him?
you know what? Hey, I like that idea for an episode. My top 10 daddies versus your top 10 mommies.
Mike days. So
Let's do it.
that could be a strange episode. Maybe we should
I'm a
for a
little
laugh.
we're combining edibles and NyQuil because 'cause I'm still sick. Oh,
I'm just drinking Dr. Pepper here. I'm good.
it's gonna be a trip today. Dr. Pepper. I'm drinking Dr. Pepper too. I always drink Dr. Pepper. Shout out Dr. Pepper.
Sponsor us.
Yes, why not?
Give us some of that
Whatever.
soda money.
Stop it. I mean, I'm gonna include it on my list.
The original, I take it.
Did I not talk about the original when we were discussing top 4? I think I did. I think it's pretty well known, like, its importance, and I think it's really it is part of the conversation. It's not one of the more underrated ones. I'm talking more about the remake, which we talked about earlier. The only thing that I really prefer over the original is Georgie's death. It's nice and brutal, but otherwise, I think it kinda just yeah, flop.
I like the first part. I mean, I like the second part too, but for me,
You're
the
gonna
part
trash
one's
talk the
idea.
clown to death,
What clown?
and Pennywise,
Why am I going to trash talk?
he gets trash talked to
I thought
death.
you said I was going to trash talk you.
No, I said at
Damn,
the
I'm not
end
going to talk shit about Pennywise. What the fuck?
no, I'm talking about the
I
Jesus,
know it does suck ass the ending.
I'm
Just
talking
get
about the
trolled to
movie,
death.
you're such a weirdo, yes.
Who's
He gets
talking?
he gets trash talked to death, and
Imagine
yeah,
dying like that.
yikes.
Just trolled out.
Right?
What a bitch.
And I have to say, I don't like the newer adaptations of older adaptations. So I don't like the new Children of the Corn. I didn't like the new Firestarter. I don't know. I just because you can do it with a bigger budget and, what you think are better effects, like, I disagree. And
Yeah,
I'm
a
sure
lot of
there's
the
people
time
out there
doesn't
who
work.
disagree with me, but, like, I prefer practical effects. So the older movies, as much as a lot of them have some cheesy effects too, like that fucking explosion at the end of Children of the Corn,
Yeah.
but that's funny. That just adds to the charm for me, like, I don't know, I don't need these newer versions of movies and stories that were already adapted, especially since there's so many. Like, The Long Walk, we're talking about this because The Long Walk is coming out. That is one of my favorite novels, and I've waited for this for quite a while, and I feel like if people weren't so busy and I realize this is ironic because my hot take is Carrie, the remake of the original. That's probably my only exception. We don't need all these, like, readaptations. He has so many stories, other stories that are so good.
I agree. And we certainly don't need any more Children of the Corn movies.
Well,
There's
that's
like
it.
12, 13 now.
Yeah, but those aren't, like, anything official.
I know,
But,
but
yeah, there's a
they
lot.
can
There's, like,
stop.
Children of the Corn and Amityville Horror, they like their fucking sequels.
Did
It's
you see the guess it was a remake where the kid was nothing like the original Isaac. He just had a really big hat. Terrible movie.
I don't I don't know if I saw that. I know I saw the remake where instead of Isaac, it's a little girl. I didn't like the movie, but the little girl, if I remember correctly, I think her name was Eden. I liked her. She was creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
And the one scene that I really liked is when she killed everybody's parents by pulling them into this big ditch. I think from what I remember, they dug a hole and put all the town's parents in it and filled the hole in with dirt, killing oh my God, killing maybe 25 to 50 parents all in one shot. It was kind of, I don't know. It was brutal.
Efficient. Exactly.
Yeah, it was efficient, it was brutal. So there's, like, maybe 1 or 2 aspects of the movie that I like, but the rest of it is trash, and if you'd stop remaking movies, we would've gotten The Long Walk maybe in 2022, just saying.
But we're getting it now, and that's what matters. And apparently, it's good. At least as far as the reviews that I've read say.
I'm I'm not worried.
Wow.
I have a really good instinct for what I'm gonna like and what I'm not gonna like. Like, if I'm not gonna like something, 9 times out of 10, I know going in.
Yeah.
Sometimes I end up surprised or disappointed, but and I have a feeling that this is gonna be my favorite movie of the year. And no
Hopefully,
shade to the other movies that I've loved this year, like Sinners is my top movie so far this year.
mine
Great
too.
fucking movie. And when I put The Long Walk on top, which I guarantee that's where it's gonna end up, I I love David Johnson
I know.
so much. That's like, even if the movie is mid or bad, him being in it is like 3 stars. Alright, it already has 3 stars. JT Mulner writing it, I really enjoyed Strange Darling for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, I
I
remember one
can't
reason specifically.
I can't remember the writing specifically right now, but I enjoyed the movie. Oh, come on.
I'm sure you remember the cinematography.
I remember Mr. Snuffleupagus.
Yep, I remember
That's
watching the movie with you.
okay, let's not get into that. We're not doing that.
Crazy
Um,
times.
it was a good movie.
It was.
And Francis Lawrence is directing, and I know some people have
Who?
feelings about Francis Lawrence. Oh my god. I'm outing myself here.
Okay.
He directed The Hunger Games, and
Okay.
that is one of my favorite movies. But, like, I'm seeing comments online, people are worried that Francis Lawrence is directing. I don't know why. I don't know what the deal is with him. I enjoy his stuff, and Hunger Games is in the same realm as The Long Walk. It's like dystopian future. I don't know how the fuck you pronounce that.
Yeah, it sounds like it could be a good match, really. It's not something to be overly concerned about.
The Running Man, sorry, but Glenn Powell, outside of Scream Queens, doesn't do it for me. I find him to be annoying. I kind of put him in the same category as Chris Pratt. Just not
Yeah.
for me.
Well, at least you're
And it
positive about Scream Queens, which means a lot to me.
Chad
Chad
Radwell
Radwell's good.
is
So
forever
funny.
gonna be the best thing he ever did. Now he's just popping up in everything, and I'm getting annoyed with it. But yeah, since you mentioned the Langoliers, I am gonna bring that up because that is in my top 5 favorite Stephen King books. It is such a good fucking book, and the adaptation was equally like, I think it was a TV adaptation, if I remember correctly?
It was a
Yeah, no, it
mini-series.
was a
I haven't watched
miniseries,
it, but I know it was a
and
mini-series. Uh,
directed and written by Tom
Aye.
Holland.
Spider-Man.
Tom Holland, my god.
The other
To
one.
Tom Holland isn't the guy who directing and co-writ the first entry in the Child's Play franchise. He directed Fright Night. He directed Thinner.
Okay, but I've not seen The Langoliers, so I'll
Um,
check it out just because 'cause you've recommended it. How about that?
you won't regret it. I recommend you read the book first. Or you know what? Maybe
Give me a
not the
list
book.
of tasks.
No, no, listen, maybe not the book first. Look, watch it and then read it. Whatever. The book will blow you away.
Okay.
It will absolutely blow you away. I remember when I got that, and look, his books were not small. So unlike, Fear Street and Goosebumps that I could finish in one day, Stephen King book was a weekend. And I remember picking up The Langoliers and reading it in under 24 hours. And I literally stayed up to read it. I was just hooked. Hooked. It's amazing. The adaptation, the miniseries was fucking amazing too.
I'll give it a go.
Shout out to the Tommy Knockers too.
Yeah, we like that. And another great book, Poor Dog. That poor
I'm
dog.
just
That's who I feel bad for. Not the townsfolk. I feel bad for the dog.
I mean,
Suffering away. Yeah.
don't we all feel bad for the dog? We always feel bad for the dog.
I wouldn't mind another version of the Tommy Knockers, personally. Maybe that's a
Yeah,
hot take. But generally, we don't need the Stephen King remakes. Most of
we
the
don't.
originals are good, I think.
Look, Tommy Knockers was extremely low budget,
Yeah,
and
that's
it's one
go
of the
ahead.
few times I think that a reboot or a remake would benefit from a bigger budget.
Yeah, just to
I
update it more than anything. Not necessarily do
ye
something wholly different.
well, that's it. I enjoyed the TV movie, but it looks very kind of piecemeal.
Yeah.
But and then you brought up Pet Cemetery 2 earlier, and I wouldn't let you pick it as your hot take because it's technically not an adaptation, but
I mean,
a derivative work, like, Return to Salem's Lot. And I kind of made fun of you for liking it, but I guess I can't really say too much. I'm a big fan of The Rage, Carrie 2.
Pet Cemetery 2 is definitely better than that. So yeah,
We should
it,
do
Be
You're
nicer to me,
always
Marianne.
you're always suggesting polls. I wanna do a poll on that one.
Which is better?
Yes, The Rage, Carrie 2, or Pet Sematary 2. I see a lot of love
You might
for
win that
Carrie
one,
2.
at least on Twitter.
But I see a lot of love for Pet Sematary too. So I don't know, ultimately, I think remember when it came out, it was so hated, and I couldn't believe that Amy Irving returned for that. I'm really pissed that she died, but other than that, yeah, I love it. It's so fucking 90s. It's so, like, late 90s. I love it.
The
Peak
Rage
late
Carry 2
90s
you love.
vibes. I do.
You're not talking about Pet Sematary 2, you talking about The Rage
No,
Carry 2.
I'm not talking about Pet Sematary 2. Only you're the only one talking about Pet Sematary 2.
It's a banger, trust.
It's
It's a movie. Is that what you're
it's a
gonna
mo
say?
it's a movie. My patented review, which basically translates to, "If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all."
Words to live by, at least for you.
It's also my letterbox review for Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
I know. I asked you to change it and you wouldn't.
Well, if I change it, it's gonna end up being 4 paragraphs of
I'll
things you're gonna like even less.
fine, I'll let you keep it.
That's my trademark review for Halloween 2. It's a movie, and that's kind of how I feel about Pet Sematary 2, but you know what? It's been a while since I've watched that one, so maybe it's time that I revisit that.
It is. Time to revisit it, change your opinion and agree with me. Hell yeah.
That's so on brand for you.
I know, right? Trendsetter.
You are.
No, I'm not. Don't lie to me.
I mean, I'm trying to think. There has to be a movie. I know I changed your mind about New Blood.
You did.
I'm trying to think. There has to be a movie that we watched. I know, like I
But I've
said,
changed your mind.
my brain is Swiss cheese. I have absolutely no memory, but I do know that there are a couple of movies that we've watched together that I was kind of not thrilled that we were watching and definitely walked away with a new perspective. I just can't think of them right now. Like I said, 32 gigabyte brain. So,
24.
fuck off. I think I'll check my letterbox later and I'll get back to you on that one because I know
Okay.
there's some in there. I'm terrible with
Sweet.
logging things on Letterbox though. Like I watch so much that I don't log.
I could never.
I'm not the religious letterboxer. So,
Everything goes on there for me. Maybe the
yeah,
Langoliers will go on there soon.
I need to get better. No, it does. You watch The Langoliers and I watch Pet Cemetery too, although I think I know who's going to win this situation. It's not going to be me
Okay,
because The Langoliers is so much better than Pet Cemetery too, in my opinion.
we shall
But
see.
we'll see what you think and revisit this topic because I'm gonna be very curious.
So I guess that's the takeaway from the episode that I'm gonna watch the Langoliers. That's the end result of all of this.
Well, there's a few takeaways. There's
It's the main one.
that our merged top 4 is my top 4. So, the number 1 takeaway is that your taste is the incorrect taste.
Apparently so. I can't believe I did that to myself.
Uh, my hot take was Carrie 2013, and your hot take is the Pet Cemetery remake.
Again,
So,
if we do a poll, that's another one that you might just win.
I'm proposing 2 polls.
Okay.
One, to see which of our hot takes well, I guess all 4 are hot takes. The only difference is that Pet Sematary 2 and Carrie 2 aren't adaptations. They're derivative works. I proposed 2 polls to see who would come out on top. Your
Okay.
hot takes are all Pet Sematary related. I'm sensing a theme.
I know. I guess that's my franchise all of a sudden. But anyway, hopefully our beautiful and intelligent listeners side with me. We can only hope. Fingers crossed.
Well, I think the number 1 takeaway from this episode is that we love Stephen King.
And that we look forward to the long walk.
We're whores for Stephen King.
Totally. We're horse in general.
And I'm about to be a whore for the long walk all over my social media. I can feel it coming.
Hell yeah. Look
Just
forward
a
to it.
warning to everybody. David Johnson everywhere. Get ready to mute me.
Consider this your whole klaxon.
So yeah, that's Stephen King.
What a guy. Yeah, no, an obscure horror writer that we've decided to honor with our coverage.
We're just trying to spread awareness.
I know. Check out this young upcoming writer, Stephen King.
Yep.
It's going to be pretty big, I think. But yeah, I think we're done with Stephen King for this week. And for every week, really, we're probably not going to be talking about Stephen King movies next week. Covered a lot.
It's hard to
That's what she said.
condense. Oh my God. It's hard to condense his entire filmography, like all the adaptations in like an hour and a half, because there's so many good things there. There's so many bangers.
Maybe, yeah.
We're definitely going to talk about The Long Walk at some point. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I sense that's gonna happen, especially with how excited you are already.
I am. I can't wait. I can't wait. I haven't been out of the house in, like, 2 weeks because 'cause I'm sick. I don't care if I'm still sick. Everybody in the theater, beware, because I will be there on Thursday.
Yeah, so you're gonna see The Long Walk Thursday.
Yes, I am. Advanced screening.
What that means, dear listeners, is that we'll see you next Tuesday.
Hell yeah.